Next up, let's look at Randy Wedick from Angenieux.
Hi guys, I'm Randy Wedick. I'm from BandPro. BandPro is also Angenieux Americas. We've kind of acquired the distribution rights to all the Angenieux lenses, and we do a lot of the sales and service and stuff out of our office in Burbank and our lens shop. And then we partnering with Angenieux. But the other thing I'd like to say is that BandPro is like pretty happy to sell you all these lenses that are being advertised and talked about today. So feel free to reach out to us about any of that stuff. So yeah, this is sort of like a soft announcement of like we are Angenieux Americas. So we are going to be, doing all the Angenieux distribution, that kind of stuff. So the first thing that people usually think about when they think about Angenieux lenses is zooms, and we have two new zooms coming out, which we're really excited about, called Ultra Compacts, Optimo Ultra Compacts, and they are full frame zooms that are also convertible to U35, Super 35 on the back. And they, in full frame, they're going to be really similar to the previous generation that people had been using in Super 35, which is a 15 to 40 and a 28 to 76. Now, if you extrapolate those out to full frame, you get, instead of a 15 to 40, you get a 21 to 56, which you see on the bottom, and then the 28 to 76 becomes a 37 to 102. And these are both 2.7x zooms. They're both lightweight. They're about maybe a sub-foot long, and they're really nice and lightweight. So the other zoom in this Optimo area is a 12 by zoom, which is not exactly the thing you want to have when you're running around for handheld or gimbal or something like that. So these are going to deliver the improved performance that you see. The improved performance you see from the old 12 by to the new Ultra 12 by, we're going to have a similar jump of performance from the Optimo compact zoom to the Ultra compact zoom. So yeah, as you see, these are like 9.5 inches long, 9.25 inches long, and they have an image circle of 46 mils, so they can cover any of these sensors out there. They have metadata. They have 114 mil up front. They have identical gear positions, so you can switch them out really quickly. And you go to the next slide, please. So basically, this is some stuff I cribbed from a flyer here, but the thing that people really respond to with the Optimo glass is that it is not just high resolution, but it's also lower contrast. And what this does is it allows you to kind of transmit a lot of the information that is about the scene. You can see high resolution information in the scene, but it's not overly emphasizing facial characteristics and that kind of stuff. You can kind of see a very, very sophisticated smoothing out of skin tones, and also it kind of helps squeeze a little bit of extra dynamic range out of the image. Let's go to the next slide here. And it's got a 310 degree focus scale, and it also has a room for an optical slot in the rear for customizing the imagery. So, and it's in a PL mount. So let's jump one more slide. Yeah. So these are the prices that we're looking forward to. And basically, as lenses go, it's hard to tell when things can get done, especially with, supply chains and all that stuff. But the plans for the Ultra Compact standard launch is the beginning of the year, and the plans for the Ultra Compact Wide are the end of the year for 2022. So sometime in the next few months, we'll be dropping this standard zoom, and then near the end of the year, we're going to be releasing the 21 to 56. So we're super excited about that. I guess we can jump forward to this next slide here. This is the other Ultra 12 by zoom that I was talking about. This has been something that's kind of been it's been a really good standby for us, but for some reason, the last few months, we just can't keep this in stock. We've been selling tons of these lenses, and this is kind of just like a flagship lens that can be built out at Super 35, U35, or full frame. And It just can live on an A camera that's on like a remote head or something like that, or, dolly, that kind of thing, jib arm. And it can just, stay there for the entire run of the show, where, you can have it as your B camera and the A cam can be primes, that kind of thing. But what's nice about all these zooms is that on your A camera, if you would like to get into primes, we've been having some really good success with the Optimo primes, which is on our next slide. And these full frame Optimo primes are special. They're different than the zooms in a way, and they're different from a lot of these other lenses in a way, in that they are designed to be customized by lens techs in the prep while you develop a look for a show. So instead of kind of buying a lens that has a special look, that has one look, and living with that, and it's cool and it's sophisticated, but it is just one look, the Optimo primes allow you to open up the inside of the lens and customize the lens on the inside. So Optimo Prime series, there's 12 lenses, as you saw in the previous scene there, and they're from 18 to 200. So you have a really wide set of lenses here. And this is kind of like a sneak peek behind the curtain of how an Optimo Prime can be customized. So this, on the left side, you'll see there's kind of one block of lenses. On the other side, on the right side, there's another block of lenses behind the red dot there. And this front block on the front of the lens can be removed by a lens tech using a special set of tools that we sell. But it's not terribly complicated to do. I wouldn't do it on set. I wouldn't do it in like a camera truck, but it can be done during prep, like I said, or it can, be done in a very clean environment. So we have 3 points of customization, as I said. One is what is the center palette here. So this is a piece of glass that is in a housing, and this can be removed and exchanged for a different thing. This is the green dot is the iris cartridge. So this is an iris cartridge that you can remove and you can replace with a different shaped iris, so like a triangular iris or something like that, or a oval iris. You can completely change the shape of the bokeh this way. And then back here, the rear filter, this allows you kind of a quick access, but also I'll show you in a diagram, if you guys follow along, that the rear position filter can do things that the middle position filter cannot. So in the center of the image here, this is where one of the coolest parts of the customization process can happen. And that's because the light rays are in the middle of the lens, and they're all there, and they're all like defocused. And what can happen is you can put in like different pieces of diffusion. But one of the things I've been having really cool success with is having reflective elements inside, something like, similar to like a glimmer glass or something like that. So when light comes in, it'll hit the center filter, and then the light will kind of bounce back and forth inside the lens and then come out the back. And it creates really complex optical effects because you're getting these kind of bidirectional reflections. Things are bouncing around inside the lens, and it's very fun. So I've had a lot of good success with that. With the diffusive element, because the light rays are in the center, you get a really cool effect that because the image is defocused in the middle, you're getting more overall diffusion. And it's smoother and a little bit stronger than you'd expect. So you want to go with lower strength here. The other thing is that because it's defocused, one of the things that we've been experimenting around is like front filter, center filter, rear filter. And with the front filter and the rear filter, the image is already like composed. So when you are rolling close focus on someone and you see the background, the bokeh, a lot of times, almost all the times, you can see the pattern of the diffusion, and it's kind of a giveaway. And it's kind of like, oh, well, I like the diffusion, so I have to deal with that. But when you have the diffusion filter in the center, the image is totally defocused, so you have no bokeh printing. So it kind of makes the lens feel more like it was built this way instead of we're using filters. So you can get some cool effects. This is one example, but you guys, this DCS presentation comes right as we're about to engage in a really complex new shoot that shows all of the new looks. So watch this space and check us out at BandPro. We'll have some more stuff to show you soon. So yeah, I mean, this is like a blue streak filter, for example. This is something that can go in the middle. The next piece is the iris cartridge. So you can pull this out and engage in a couple of different things. And I find that this effect is something that is cool when you add it to another effect. This is a situation where you're using a triangular iris and we're getting kind of like an old school B-speed look. And by itself, it's pretty neat, but if you mix it up with some other cool diffusion stuff, you can get really close to the effect of, some of these lenses, shooting Taxi Driver on or something like that. You can get some elevated black level in the shot or something, and you get the ability to kind of have the vintage lens performance that you're looking for, but be in the chassis of an ultimate high-end 2021 era mechanical optical performance beast. So you get to kind of switch it up, and then as the owner or as a rental house person, switch it back to the default and shoot the clean, beautiful, high-res, low-contrast look that Optimos are known for. So in the rear palette here, what you see is the light rays have diverged now. So we've created an image, and there is an up and a down, and a left and a right. So, we've got an image here in the front, and then in the center, like I said, the image is defocused, and then you come back out the other side, and you have orientation. Next. So yeah, instead of doing overall diffusion, you can do a kind of like a gradiated filter here. And by using a gradient, you can deal with just a difference between the center and the edge. And you can use a gradient of filtration, you can use a gradient of neutral density, or you can use a gradient in depth. You can use like an aspheric glass element here. So what this will allow you to do is manipulate, like I said, vignetting, sharpness, or even field curvature. And this allows you to kind of keep the center sharp and the edges rolling off into softness, which is something that people love about old school lenses like K35s and that kind of thing, that it's really hard to get these modern flat field lenses. So what's nice is you don't have to have the downsides of working with a vintage lens. You have a ultra high performance modern lens that you can then selectively modify, customize, and change on a cartridge based system. So you've got slots, pop in, and you can exchange things. And we also encourage people to kind of create their own stuff, because I feel like that's really where a lot of the creativity is going to be. It's going to be in the user. We have a lot of faith in our customers, and so we encourage them to kind of make the stuff that we wouldn't think of. So yeah, I mean, also the rear position palette doesn't require you to disassemble the lens. Like I said, disassembling the lens is easy, but it's not something I would do in the field. So if you're looking to kind of have another quick change port and you don't want to fly a map box and you're on a gimbal or something, or you're on a motorcycle mount or whatever, and you want to do rear filtration, you have the slot on all these lenses to just do, whatever rear filtration, front filtration you have in the map box. It has the identical effect nearly in the back. This is the Optimo Prime series. Like I said, 18, 21, 24, 28, 32, 40, 50, 60, 75, 100, 135, and 200. Next slide. We offer them in 3 configurations: a silver set, a gold set, and a platinum set. These are the different focal lengths that would come with those sets. And then also the next slide has the pricing on it. So what's great is Optimo zooms have always been, kind of the artist's choice in the film world. And now you have the Optimo Primes to go with them to match a completely matched look. But also the Optimo Primes allow you kind of a unique way to deviate and get super creative and weird and create unique looks per project, and then return them to their default configuration very easily. If you'd like more information, hit us up at bandpro.com or give us a call.
So does Angenieux offer these internal filters, or is it all custom?
Both. We are BandPro and Angenieux have a bunch of different filters, and we're like kind of signing off on them and doing all the test shoots like this week and next week. So we don't have a ton of hard information. There's diffusion filters, reflection filters, blue streak filters, oval irises, triangle irises, and stuff. But the other thing that I found is that we kind of want to give some creative freedom to the rental houses and to the DPs to go weird and create stuff that we wouldn't think of. So we do sell blanks, and we do kind of have an ability to kind of have people create their own stuff.
Okay, cool.